With the Philippine flags waving and Lebanese chants echoing around center court, Alex Eala had just delivered the most dominant performance of her grass court career, destroying Priscilla Han 6-0-6-2 in just 64 minutes. The crowd was thrilling and the atmosphere was joyous, but then everything changed. At a WTA 125 event in Birmingham, what happened next was unexpected. In a matter of hours, a single scene became viral on 2 continents as fans rushed forward, security had to stop, and officials were frightened. Why did security step in after Alex Eala did anything, and why are fans still talking about it days later? Edgbaston Priory Club, Birmingham, England, June 2, 2026, 2 p.m. Heartbreak had greeted the morning. Just a day earlier, Alex Eala and her Czech partner Nikola Bartankova had held a match point in their first-round doubles match against British second seeds Harriet Dart and Maya Lumsden. At 9-8, victory was within 1 point in the pivotal tiebreak. But the tennis gods thought otherwise. The home favorites rallied to win 3 straight points, 4-6, 6-2, and 11-9, sending Eala off the court with a defeat she would quickly forget. For singles, however, things were different. When Alex Eala, the top seed in the Lexus Birmingham Open, took center court, the storied Edgbaston Priory Club had never witnessed such an atmosphere. As thousands of Philippine flags flapped in the grandstand and the chanting of Laban, Laban, Laban echoed across the well-kept grass, families who had traveled from Manchester, London, Liverpool, and even Manila itself held their breath in anticipation of their champion's performance. She did not disappoint us. Standing across the net was Australia's Priscilla Han, who is rated 143rd in the world. Both of them had prevailed in their previous meetings. Han had won their most recent match at the WTA Ningbo Open in October 2024, although Eala had won their first encounter in Roehampton in 2023. The head-to-head record was 1-1. The rubber match was this one. But from the beginning, there was no contest. Eala was making the most of her lefty serve. She moved smoothly on the grass, her ground strokes were accurate, and her focus was steady. She finished the opening set in just 22 minutes, defeating Han 6-0 by converting 3 breakpoints and winning all of her first serve points. In essence, the second set was identical. Eala raced to a 5-0 lead just as she was about to pull off an incredible double bagel victory. The crowd was thrilled, sensing history. Han refused to be completely humiliated though, and won 2 straight games to cut the score to 5-2. It was a relieving moment. Eala was able to regain her composure and end the match with a love hold in just 59 minutes. Eala won 53-27, 6-0-6-2. After the match, while Philippine flags fluttered wildly, phones raised in unison to record the moment, and voices shouted over one another in a deafening chorus of Tagalog and English, "Alex, Alex, over here! Laban, Laban. Please, just one image." The security guards, who had been at ease, suddenly became vigilant. 2 guards hurried toward Eala, separating her from the surgeon crowd. Another guard grabbed the young girl's hand and pulled her back behind the barrier, away from the crowd of bodies. Everyone has returned. A security manager's speech was barely audible over the commotion. But the crowd persisted. 4 hours, days, or perhaps their entire lives, some had been anticipating this moment. The barrier had seemed sturdy only moments before, but suddenly it collapsed under the pressure. Eala stood motionless for a heartbeat. Her eyes darted between the security guards and the throng of faces coming at her. For the first time in the day, she seemed uncertain. After then, the security personnel moved. 2 guards formed a human barrier in front of Eala to protect her from the crowd. A 3rd guard took her arm and moved her backward, away from the barrier, and into the middle of the floor. A 4th guard called for reinforcements over his crackling radio. "We need more people on center court right now." In a couple of seconds, a wall of security guards separated Eala from the stands. Joining arms and pushing back against the oncoming crowd, they created a route for the top seed to escape. Eala went quickly, not sprinting but clearly retreating, with her racket bag still draped over her shoulder and a grateful yet perplexed expression on her face. She disappeared through the players' entrance, and the heavy door swung shut behind her. The security guards remained on the floor for an extra 5 minutes, eventually pushing the crowd back behind the lines and calming the chaos. Even though no one had been hurt or arrested, The image of Alex Eala being taken off center court while surrounded by security guards and the Philippine flags flapping wildly in the backdrop had already gone viral on social media platforms worldwide. In a few hours, that image would be seen by millions of people. Several locations on June 2, 2026. The fuzzy, shaky footage, taken from a dozen different angles, was revealed in a matter of minutes. Security guards rushed Alex Eala from center court as thousands of fans came forward. In just 3 hours, the video had amassed over 15 million views. Eala security gained widespread popularity as a hashtag. Filipino supporters defended the zeal. After detractors called it a security breach, the tennis community was once again divided over the phenomenon that was Alex Eala. This is what happens when a sport undervalues its fan base, according to one pundit. 25,000 people attended a WTA 125 event, but neither the competition nor the security were ready for Alex Eala. Some were more severe. Players should never be put in danger, according to a former WTA professional. The tournament organizers let Alex down today. She deserves better. The WTA remained silent as usual. But Alex Eala's response was the most compelling. Late that evening, she posted a brief video to her Instagram account. She had returned to her hotel room, her match shirt still on and her hair still damp from the shower. She seemed relaxed but worn out. To everyone who came out to support me today, I would want to thank you. I saw the flags, heard the chanting, and felt every single one of you. She paused. What happened after the game? I acknowledge that it was a little terrifying, but I also know that love, not anger or disorder, was the driving force behind it. She smiled. So please, let's all exercise caution, watch out for one another, and keep cheering from a distance. 8 million people loved the video in only 12 hours. The next morning, Birmingham, England, June 3, 2026. As the sun rose above Edgbaston Priory Club, the security walls were reinforced. Overnight, tournament officials tripled the number of guards on center court. New metal barriers around the tunnel used by the players. The post-match fan interaction area was located in a highly restricted area with staggered admission and specialized security personnel. The events of yesterday would not happen again. But the memory of that moment, the exhilaration, the anxiety, and the image of Alex Eala being rushed from the court, would last long after the barriers were removed. Birmingham had undergone some sort of transformation. The tennis establishment has long been aware of Alex Eala's popularity. They had seen the banners at Indian Wells, heard the shouts at the Australian Open, and seen the explosive ticket sales for a WTA 125 tournament in Birmingham, but they had never fully understood the extent of what she stood for. Until a spike in the crowd forced security to step in. A 25,000-person WTA 125 event on Tuesday afternoon. The numbers no longer spoke the narrative. The passion had become inevitable. For Eala, the event was a wake-up call. She had always carried the weight of her nation's hopes, but for the first time, she had seen what that weight looked like from the other side. A sea of faces hurrying forward, desperate for a glimpse, a touch, a moment with their hero. I know it came from love, she had remarked, and she meant it. But unchecked love may lead to disorder, and turbulence, no matter how well-intentioned, can put lives in danger. The competition is still going on. Eala advances to the next round, where she will face Beatrice Haddad Maia in what is anticipated to be her most challenging test to date. The security obstacles and rules have been reinforced, and the tennis community is watching Birmingham to see if it has learned its lesson. In addition to being a tennis player, Alex Eala is now a movement. Furthermore, preparedness, safety, and respect are necessary for any motions, regardless of how delicate. Always. But now, too. Safety. Always. Shocking. As Alex Eala's unexpected moment at the Birmingham Open goes viral, security must step in. A hand was extended to a small fan in the stands. Priscilla Hahn was destroyed 60-62, the crowd was thanked in Tagalog, and then thousands of Philippine flags were waved, hundreds of fans pushed forward, and security guards ran onto center court. In just a few hours, the video has been viewed over 15 million times. The tournament apologized, the security barricades were reinforced, and Alex Eala, calm, compassionate, and unwavering, posted a video assuring everyone that, I know it came from love. But the tennis elite could no longer deny what the event revealed. In addition to being popular, Alex Eala is a movement, and movements, no matter how loving, need planning, safety, and and respect. To learn more about the drama, emotion, and incredible power of tennis fandom, click the subscribe button and join the court legacy community. Because the real stories in this sport are not just about the winners and losers, but also about the moments when fans take part in the game. Do you think the competition was prepared for Eala's fanbase, or did they underestimate her once more? Please share your thoughts in the comments section below.